In this section, we will learn how to automate server administration using the ArcGIS REST API. So this section, I'm going to tackle this topic through 5 different videos, the first being this introductory video that we're watching right now, and the second will be an introduction to the ArcGIS REST API and a brief look at ArcPy. And then we'll look at a couple of examples, one for writing service properties and another for stopping and starting services. And then last, we'll look at the ArcGIS command line utilities. Okay, so the ArcGIS REST API, you can use this to run scripts to administer your server. It includes resources and operations that allow you to invoke every administrative task that you might need. And in fact, all of the administrative tools that you use with ArcGIS for Desktop and Server Manager make use of this API. And so this includes tasks like creating a site, stopping and starting services, querying logs, and usage reports. And besides invoking the ArcGIS REST API using language like Python, Java, JavaScript, you can also use the ArcGIS Server command line utilities. In this video, we'll learn about the ArcGIS REST API and the ArcPy site package. Great, so in this video, we'll learn first, what is the ArcGIS REST API? Next, what is ArcPy? And then we'll learn a little bit about how one can utilize the API. So first things first, what is the ArcGIS REST API? Well, it's an API that includes resources and operations for administering ArcGIS Server. And in fact, all the administrative tools for both ArcGIS Desktop and ArcGIS Server use the ArcGIS REST API. So anything that you would need to do, any task you need to run, you could do it by invoking the API. And you can use your language of choice as long as your language can make a web service call, you're good to go. So this would include Python, Java, JavaScript, PowerShell, etc., etc. You do not need to have Esri software installed in order to use the API. So, what is ArcPy? ArcPy site package. It's a Python site package that allows you to basically very efficiently automate a range of ArcGIS tasks. And this includes not just ArcGIS server tasks, but geoprocessing tasks and file management and many other types of tasks. In this context could include, for example, publishing services, registering databases, working with service definition files. When you're using the ArcGIS REST API, you'll need to make sure you're doing a couple things. So you'll need to create an HTTP request with the required parameters. You need to construct the URL to the selected resource or operation as defined in the API reference. And then you'll need to provide the relevant parameters in their specified format. And then, you'll be accessing the URL over the prescribed HTTP method. So that's usually GET or POST. So you can see here there's an example for importing CA signed certificate. You can see how the URL is constructed here with the server URL, ArcGIS admin, machines, server.domain.com, SSL certificates, mycert, import signed certificate. And then the parameters here are specified down below. And you can find all the information you might need in order to construct your URL and specify the parameters at the ArcGIS REST API Resource Center. And another way you can explore this is by going to the ArcGIS Administrator Directory and clicking through to see, how to construct the URL. And to do that, I'm going to pull up browser window here. You go to your server URL, and then you go to ArcGIS/admin, and then you log in, and then you can click through to any of these items, and you should recognize this from prior videos. You'll notice the URL here. As you click, you can see the URL is, of course, growing, and that is essentially drill down to where you need to be, and then that's essentially your URL here, and then you've got your parameters. So, in this video, we learned what the ArcGIS REST API and ArcPy are, while also learning the basics of how to use the API.